Hi. I'm gonna give you all a couple seconds so you will hop on. I am here in San Diego right now. Can y'all hear the birds a little bit out my window? I would go outside, except I'm in an area in Little Italy where it's where the airplanes descend into the airport, and sometimes it's really loud outside every once in a while. Yesterday was particularly like it seemed like everybody was landing in San Diego yesterday. So far this morning, it's been really quiet, but just in case. So it's been a really interesting couple of days. I've been here facilitating classes, and one of the things I love about traveling and facilitating classes in my life is I get to talk with people and invite them to actually have an easier life, actually have things show up faster. And in the last couple of days, I was talking with some really close friends, and really got kind of a wedgie, uh, a mental and a energetic and everything wedgie. Hi, Susie. Good morning. And one of my friends was really asking me, so are you willing to not have any obstacle to overcome? Are you willing for things to just be like you ask for it and it shows up? And I I'm really I'm looking here, see my ADD. I acknowledge that I create a lot faster than a lot of people, that I do a lot in a day than most people do in a week or a month. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Maribel. Good morning. And maybe that's the case for some of you. Like, will you acknowledge that you already function faster than a lot of people on the planet? I'm really lucky that I have a lot of great friends that are really fast. So awesome. How does it get any better than that? And I was looking at it, I was like, wow, yeah, I am really fast already. I already create a lot. I already, have things showing up that when I ask for it and I'm willing to do whatever it takes for it to show up, it does. Whatever I need to be and do for it to show up, it does. And then my friend invited me to not even have anything or anyone to overcome or outcreate for things to show up. And I was just like, there was all this resistance that came up in my world. And I was like, what is that? What is this? Like, no, 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 no. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. That showed up in my world. I mean, even for y'all, like, just be with the energy of if someone asked you, like, if I were to ask you right now, are you willing to have things show up just by you asking? Like, boom. Like, you may wave a magic wand, you just show up in the space, and everything that you have been asking for possibly years shows up. Hi, Liz. Good morning. And I will be honest with y'all, I was not ready for that. I was so like, mm, 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 mm. And one of the things I've learned is when I have a huge resistance to something right away, when I'm like, boo, there's something there for me that's going to change my life and that's going to expand my world, or that there's somewhere where I'm judging something, maybe myself, the possibility, the person that's bringing it up, Hi, Richard. So I was looking at this. And if this is bringing up anything for y'all, please, I invite you to look at this with me. And one of the things that came up was I was more committed to the like hustle, to the out creating my family and what their limitations are and their points of view are and my childhood. I was more committed to choosing beyond all the sickness and pain I used to have, like all these stories and these the suffering, the effort. Like I needed the effort to prove that I was living, to prove that I was creating, to prove that it was okay for me to get it. Like, okay, I'm willing for it to go after the effort, after the earning, after the struggle, after the work. And so when one of my friends was like, well, what if you didn't have to have a mountain that you had to climb over and around and dig under and go through and blow up? Like, what if there just wasn't even a mountain there? And again, like I said, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. So what did I do? What can you choose in those times when something's inviting you to something that's easier and faster and that resistance comes up? One of the things I did was acknowledge it. I was like, okay, that's showing up. All right, interesting. And then really used the tool of access consciousness. Okay, let me be in allowance with this, which is just when anything's just an interesting point of view, including what's showing up for me or what's showing up for other people, what they say, what they do, what I say, what I do. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have that point of view about what he's saying. Interesting point of view, I have that point of view about what I think about what he's saying and what I'm being invited to. And interesting point of view, I have that point of view about what my family would say about this and what my friends would say about this. And interesting point of view I have about what anyone else would think or say about things just showing up even faster and easier for me. Because one of the things that I've been looking at for years is being willing to be judged for being different, for having things show up really, really fast, for being able to travel the world and make money in different ways, for me to have different businesses and friends all over. I before was not willing to be seen and for people to know all of that. Hi, Martha and Christine. And I wasn't willing for people to positively or negatively judge me. I was willing to stay hidden and kind of do it all in the background, sneaky like. Hi, Margie. And so I was like, okay, am I willing to be judged for things showing up even more in my life? Am I willing to have no point of view of what anyone thinks or says or does about my life and my living and the businesses I play with? And a couple days ago when I was really looking at this, it was a big no. It was like I wasn't willing. And then so I used the Access Consciousness clearing statement: right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And that's basically a verbal magic wand. It brings up, when you're talking about certain things and you have certain energies come up in your world and you get that that's a lie or that's a limitation, you can just say, I poc pod that. I'm going to put that in here in the chat for you guys. Pod pocket. And it stands for point of destruction, point of creation. And there's a lot of information about it at theclearingstatement.com. So if you want to look at that, I'm not going to get into it here. But I did that a lot, over and over and over again. I was like, okay, I pod that, I pod that, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, pop, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And then I started running my bars. I gave myself an access bar session. And that's one of the things I love about this tool is you learn it and then you can run it on yourself. So I'm like touching my head and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, what's true for me here? What's actually going to work for me with this? And what I got was, it would be so much fun to not have to struggle, to not have to work so hard, to not require the earning and the effort before I let myself have what I'm asking for? Are you willing to let things show up and people show up and money show up and kindness and sweetness and fun show up without having to earn it first, without having to exert all this energy before you can just have that as your life and your living? And I'm like, okay, wow. So I run my bars, and all of a sudden I start feeling all of this heaviness in my world just kind of go and melt away. And, you know, I can't express to you what a gift that is. When all of a sudden you go from the freak out, the resistance, to like, that's, I get that that's possible, and maybe that's possible for you, my friend over there. Thank you. No. To, oh, it's actually possible for me too. I can choose that. Okay, wow. And what would that actually be like for me to have it easier and faster? What would it be like for you, everyone watching now and in the future? Hey, Pernil, long time no speak. Oh my gosh, how wonderful. What would it be like for you to have things show up and it's just like, boom? And what would you ask for if you knew that by just asking and showing up and committing to being you, it would show up? It would actually show up. And who would you ask for if you knew by just asking for it and committing to being you, it would show up? And so for me, a couple things showed up, and I'm still looking at this. You know, one of the things I love about Access Consciousness is we have a lot of questions and not answers. It's about empowering you to know what you know. And so for me, I was like, okay, what do I know about this? What would I, gosh, what have I been stopping myself to ask for? Because I was like, oh, I'm not really wanting to put the effort and do the struggle and the hustle to actually have that show up. So I'm not even going to bother asking for it. There was a lot of stuff, y'all. There was a lot of things that for me, I was like, I'm not even going to bother asking for that right now. I'm going to work on the things that, these couple of projects, these couple of classes, these couple of businesses, these couple of people in my life, these couple of places where I could travel to, do. And it's still a lot. I acknowledge that. It's still a lot than maybe some other folk. Okay, cool, fine. And now what could I ask for? So, you know, y'all let me know what's coming up for you in the chat if you want. As I'm talking about this, for me, one of the things that I got that I would ask for is for money to show up even more, as if by magic. Like, for it to be on the street, for people to just gift it to me, for gosh, for me to win more vacations and raffles and rental cars and things like that, for people to just show up in my classes and me not have to promote it and market it, and it just be like, hey, I'm here and you can show up or not, but thank you for whatever you're being in the world. For I would ask for all the people in the planet to have less judgment, for me to not have to meet every single person, and for all of my friends who are facilitating classes and choosing consciousness and inviting people to know what they know, for us to not have to go one by one to each person, for it to just kind of go in the world, no judgment. No judgment, nowhere where you're lying to yourself, nowhere where you're hiding, nowhere where you have to have a secret or hidden agenda from yourself. Yeah. Okay, cool. More ease with creation, less doing, more being. Yeah, that's a great ask. And I'm asking for that as well, like for everything. Like I would love to have more spaces that I can invite people to where other people are connecting and collaborating together, where people feel like it's a haven and that they can show up and be there and it's like a home away from home. Um, I'm looking and asking questions about where that place would like to be. It's an idea I've had for years, but like I said, I wasn't willing to ask for it because I was like, oh, I have to struggle, I have to work, I have to find the people to collaborate and invest in, and all of the calculations that you go into in your head instead of just asking and seeing what shows up and who shows up that would be willing to contribute to that or that would be willing to create that with you. Thanks, Frederic. Boom, indeed. And you know, what else? What else could we ask for individually and together? Maybe for you, it's good for your loved ones to have ease, for them to not be in pain, to not have anxiety and depression, to not have, you know, all of the struggle for them. Like if I could just wave a magic wand, be the wizard I truly be. Some of my friends right now are in Langkawi, Malaysia, and they have a class there that's 7 days that they're calling Wizards Arise. And maybe you can tap into the energy of that 7 day retreat where we could really just be like Mickey Mouse in Fantasia, if you guys remember, where you go, woo, and he's just orchestrating and playing with all of the molecules and be like, yes, this can show up and this can show up and this can show up. And what if that could be our life and our living all of the time? This can show up and this can show up and this can show up. What would you actually like to show up? Like, how many of you have certain people in your life that you keep them in your life to earn and prove whatever next thing you'd like to have? Or because you think that with them in your life that that's what's going to get you to have the life you truly like? And what if it could be with them or not with them? What if it starts with you committing to being you, you committing to showing up and receiving quicker and faster and easier? I'm asking myself more and more, okay, am I willing? Am I willing to have it show up quicker and faster and easier? Without the struggle, without the earning, without the slowing it down so I can get it piecemeal. Doop, ba doop, ba doop, ba doop, ba doop. Are you willing to stop slowing yourself down? Stop slowing your receiving down and it to just show up and so fast it kind of knocks you on your ass, just like boom, like Federica saying. And if there's a resistance in your world, like what I described showed up for me, where I was initially like, nope, 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 nope. I have to do the hustle. That's what life and living is. What would I be like? Gosh, what would my life be like if I didn't have the struggle? What would my life be like if I didn't have the effort and the hustle and the suffering and the slowing down? How much more different would I have to acknowledge that I already am if I let things show up faster and easier? Who might not roll with that speed? Who might not like me going that fast? And so I'm slowing myself down, or I'm stopping myself, or I'm not even asking for it to show up, because when it does, I already know that some people are going to be like, that's not going to work for me, and bye-bye. Are you willing to commit to your life and living and to you being you and actually having that ease and joy for yourself, even if other people aren't okay with it? Even if some people might not want to be in your life for a little bit or for a long bit. I was slowing myself down. I was not willing to be judged for things showing up so much faster and easier. And I'm done with that, y'all. I'm done. So use the clearing statement if you'd like, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and mans. Check out theclearingstatement.com if you want to see what that tool is. Just use it for anywhere that you're resisting anything that's going to just skyrocket your life to a whole other level, a whole other speed, to you having things show up really fast and awesomely and with way more fun. Consider getting your bars run or having someone facilitate you around this. You know, there's people all over the planet that have these tools, and I'm so, so grateful for them. I'm so, so grateful for you. If you use these tools or not, thank you. Just thank you for anywhere that you're willing to be more of you, when you're willing to have things show up faster, because one of the things that I'm asking for that I wasn't willing to ask for in this way before was for there to be ease for everyone on the planet, for there to be joy and glory for everyone on the planet now, right now, and not for it to show up and wait for all these other steps beforehand. Federique says, be magic, be you, and the gift you are for yourself and the planet. And how does it get any better than that? Yes, be you and receive. That. Thank you. I'm so glad. Yes, awesome. Yeah, get your bars run today. All of that. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being willing to receive however much more you're willing to receive, even if it's just like 1% more. Like, just perceive what that's gonna create for your life and what future that can show up with your willingness to receive even that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4% more than you were yesterday, than you were maybe before listening to this. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye, y'all.